You have to go it alone to achieve success. People come with you when you succeed. Learn to be happy in small things. Big things will become your destiny. Physical injuries heal with time, but words and attitudes never heal. Wise and sensitive people are always suffering from grief. No journey is complete without reaching the destination. Even if the journey is not reached, the paths teach a lot. Small actions done with seriousness lead you to big success. Don't be afraid of someone's rudeness. They are just introducing themselves. It is wise to let them know. One can live with those whose circumstances are bad, but one cannot live with those whose training is bad. The doors of the heart should never be completely closed to anyone. Mistakes are made by humans. Some people even want to go back, but they find the doors closed. Always speak sweet words so that if you ever have to take it back, you don't sound bitter. If you sleep well even after hurting someone, read the funeral of your conscience because he is dead. Don't make yourself a prisoner of the past. That was a life lesson, not a lifelong sentence. Unsolicited love tastes like spoiled wine. Make thousands of relationships in the world, but make one relationship so that when thousands are against you, one is with you. For every relationship and for every love, a certain time is fixed. If that time passes, the relationship and love ends. A woman begins to lie about her age when her face begins to wrinkle. You cannot clean people's hearts, but it is within your power to keep your own heart clean. These conditions will improve one day, but until then some people will leave my heart. Always speak morally, because most of the troubles come to a person because of his tongue. A person who has the ability to convince you even after fighting a lot, and if you think about it all the time, you can understand that he loves you immensely. Let those who do evil too. You do it because evil is done by those who cannot equalize. The only way to live peacefully in this world is that every person has a vast cemetery where he can bury the mistakes and shortcomings of people. When people learn to write, they will write briefly, and when they learn to speak, they will often be silent. It will be a time of real peace and maturity. Don't wait for others to be good, but teach them how to be a good person by being good yourself. When there's love, all the rights will be fulfilled happily. Without love, the right will be received like a shroud after death. They are not the ones who stand together in the picture. They are the ones who stand together in pain. Man never gets out of the grip of grief. Happiness is just a break from fatigue. Those who have no respect take pride in disrespecting others. Life is not easy for anyone. Everyone is struggling with situations at some point or the other. Love is the story of the faithful and one of life. Of the unfaithful, a rare event. You cannot please everyone. Only hypocrites can do this. Many people are angry and unhappy with conscientious, truthful, and principled people. Some things come back even after a long time, especially a betrayal and lies told. Half of life's sorrows are bought by people by having false expectations from others. Nowadays, people remember less in prayers and more in chants. A man cares more than his Own life for a woman who knows how to turn his sorrow and sadness into happiness. Your character is your identity, otherwise there are millions of people with the same name. The conversation itself tells whether it has been trained or just nurtured. Truth-tellers face the most hatred in the world. The gaze is pure until it is lifted. The wise and the foolish must have some or the other fault, but the great man sees his own faults, and the world sees the faults of the fools. It is folly to rely on prayer without doing your part, and to avoid prayer by relying on your own hard work is arrogance. Love someone so much that you don't leave room. If he still can't be yours, then leave him, because he is not a seeker of love, but a priest of need. The society that accepts the tradition of family rule remains below the human level. If life was so good, no one would come into the world crying. When you fall in true love with someone, think about his hereafter. How to improve his hereafter will be the biggest reason for your love. A woman with good habits, even if she is in a poor man's house, makes him a king too. Although advice is unpleasant, its end is pleasant. If sparrows unite, they can skin a tiger. One people doing falsehood in the company of 5 people, because its closeness leads to delusion. 2 from a fool, because as much as he wants your benefit, so much harm will come. 3 by stinging Nesbic the best time with his company, becomes free, for coward light gives up over time. 5 from the transgressor, because he gets into trouble by getting sidetracked by the temptation of a swindler. A person who is indifferent to the grief of others does not deserve to be called a human being. 2 things are a defect of intellect: to be silent when speaking and to speak when silent. Every person you meet has 2 buttons, one for good and the other for bad. It's up to you which button you press. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe my channel.